So, friends, an important ruling was just handed down by a judge in California. Now, we all saw the devastation wrought when the Trump administration callously and cavalierly fired thousands of federal government employees who were relatively new hires, folks who are on what's called probationary status. Well, a federal judge just ruled that those firings were illegal. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, the Trump administration, in its first weeks in power, directed the firing of thousands of federal government employees. And you know how much advance notice those employees got that they would be let go, that they would be terminated? Well, the firing directive went out on Friday, February 14th, and it required that the firings be accomplished no later than close of business on Monday, February 17th. Yeah, one business day. Talk about the chaos, the callousness, the cruelty. Well, now a federal judge in California has determined that those firings were unlawful. They were illegal. Let's start with the new reporting. This from NPR. Headline, Judge says Trump's mass firing of federal employees is illegal and should be stopped. And that article begins, a federal judge in San Francisco says the Trump administration's firing of thousands of probationary employees is illegal and should be stopped. U.S. District Judge William Alsup says the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, OPM, must rescind directives sent to some agencies ordering them to fire their probationary employees, typically those in their first or second year in a job. Alsup issued the temporary restraining order at the end of a hearing on Thursday. His order covers agencies whose firings impact the civic organizations that sued the Trump administration. Those agencies include the Department of Veterans Affairs, the National Park Service, the Small Business Administration, the Bureau of Land Management, the Department of Defense, and the Fish and Wildlife Services. And friends, as I mentioned just a minute ago, an OPM memo to human resource officers dated February 14th says, we have asked that you separate probationary employees no later than end of the day, Monday, February 17. That's right, over the weekend. Not really even one full business day's worth of advance notice that people who had been working for the federal government for 6 months, a year, some of them just shy of 2 years, who were still probationary employees, got about half a day's worth of notice that you are gone, terminated, shit-canned, get out. Talk about the chaos, the callousness, the cruelty. This has nothing to do with cutting fraud, waste, and abuse. This has nothing to do with efficiency in government. This has everything to do with creating as much chaos and confusion and harming thousands and thousands of public servants just gratuitously. Just what? For sport? All my editorial edition. The article continues. This from Judge Alsup. Quote, how could so much of the workforce be amputated suddenly overnight? It's so